Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host
Chip. What's up,
What's
guys?
going on, man? Today, man, we're going to get into cryptocurrency. We are going to dig into our buddy, the G-Man, Big Daddy, Gary Gensler. He puts himself into the predicament day after day after day. We got digital assets, cryptocurrency, man. It's so exciting. I think, man, that's it, man. We are fired up and we got to cover this thing. Ready to do this, Chip? Ready to kick this thing off?
I am ready to do it, but something's weird about our something happened to our open. We might have to go cold tonight. Hang on a second. Yeah, do you see it in there?
I got it right here.
All right, let's let it go. Yeah, go.
All right, let's go.
Do it.
That's a long one, Chip.
Yeah, well, oops. Sorry, that was like the half-hour one. Well, listen, guys, we got an action-packed night. We got to jump right into things, but something extraordinary happened today. Dan gets up and asks, well, let's just play it. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll bring this in here.
Roll out the video. Roll out the video.
Let's watch it.
All of our stuff in here and the branding is deleted. This is crazy stuff.
Yeah, they deleted all of our stuff, right?
All right, yeah. All right, let's do this thing.
Okay, so let's go ahead and here. Let's listen to this right here because this is extraordinary. Made my day, my week, maybe even my year. Let's throw this up there.
Hi, Gary. Appreciate the regulation of crypto that you're pursuing. One question for you is, you've said that there can't be 5,000 to 6,000 private forms of money, referring to the approximately 6,500 tokens there are. But that's a patently false statement. Barely, the majority of those tokens are not trying to be private forms of money. So how do you reconcile that?
Well, I don't know your first name. I apologize, but
it's Dan.
I think that you raise a good point. I was using the term cryptocurrencies loosely. They're not all currencies, but I also think that each of these individual projects, if they want to compete as a form of money, that's unlikely. If they're competing as something else, if they're offering something to the public other than investment contract. I mean, Preet was saying that they're maybe not investment contracts. If they're investment contracts and they're a form of security, which I think there are many of them are, again, based on facts and circumstances, that would be different. But it's hard to say that they are, all not investment contracts and all not some form of trying to be some form of private money. And then you say, well, they're a commodity. But I'd ask back, how many forms of precious metal really compete as some form of long-term form of store of value?
I guess the answer to that is pretty straightforward, though. You'd have gold and then some other precious metals for different commodities. But I think that we all want you to succeed in pursuing this regulation of crypto. But some of those statements probably rip some credibility off you. So I'd ask you to sort of probably consider them more closely, because it's not like you say that like there's file storage systems such as Filecoin, which are decentralized AWS, let's say, and you're not saying that AWS or Amazon stock or Microsoft stock or Google stock are forms of money. I just think statements like that are probably ruffling feathers.
Well, I appreciate your comments, and I'll take them in the spirit.
Yeah, he appreciates the comments. Sure he does. He appreciates the comments and the spirit of the conversation. Somehow we lost Jeff. I don't know what happened. Maybe his laptop battery died. Jeff's coming back in here. So he appreciates the spirit, Jeff, and everything else. But guys, I want to let you know something very cool. We've got a special guest. We have Dan here with us tonight.
Dan, Decentralized Dan.
Decentralized.
What is up, Dan? This is it, man. You asked the best question of all time, putting the man on the spot.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think you got to keep, a lot of people think they're speaking truth to power, and they're just speaking power to truth. And quite frankly, I think he was doing the latter. So it was time to remedy that. And lo and behold, it resonated.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what I'm hearing throughout the the Twitter sphere hero, right? I mean, you Gensler, right? I mean, we used to use the word Gensler as if you got Gensler, you got
Gensler.
sued, and you Gensler. He was just, he had no idea what he was to say. He was like, well, I don't know your first name, and I don't know what I'm doing up here, and blah, 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 blah. It was just, he was really reaching, man.
Trying to figure out, man, he was stumbling all over the place, Dan. That's
Yeah, it's ridiculous that you kind of realize that the thing that triggered me, I was exercising a lot of restraint during that conversation because I'm sitting back there and I've read interviews that he's done in the Washington Post. I have watched him talk about this, and he has repeatedly used the same language. Like, we cannot have 5,000 to 6,000 different forms of private money. And I thought, okay, maybe that was just a mishap, right? Maybe this is something that someone just slipped it into one little announcement, and then they regretted it afterwards, and they said, let's just never say that again. And he's on stage using that same rhetoric about how if they are these things, we need to be thinking of them as X, Y, and Z. And I was like, how is nobody, like, how I'm in here with a bunch of tech execs, people in media, and I know that essentially, between big banks and big tech is completely overrun, not just Washington, but journalism. And I'm like, how is no self-respecting? I'm not a journalist. How's no one asking these questions? How's no one trying to remedy or create this view? And I tried to basically make it constructive. And all that really, my initial question was a lot more aggressive. But
What question was that, Dan?
Well, it's more about how I was going to frame the existing question is what I should have said, and that was basically me. I was about what was gonna come out of my mouth was just say, every breath that comes out of your mouth, not only does completely erodes any credibility that you have, it also just signifies that you have a very grey-haired, if not no-haired, understanding of what crypto is. Right?
Oh, what?
Yeah, I was about to be really savage, and I was like, you know what? That's just gonna maybe create a bit of tension. I think in the world of crypto, we got to be a bit more consultative. We got to breadcrumb people along, right? And eventually they'll come in to understand it. But because it attracts a certain personality type, quite often, at least at the early days of any new technology, or any, I'd argue that it's more than just technology. It's beyond that. It's a culture and an operating system in many ways. But beyond that, you need these personalities. These personalities, and I'm guilty of this. We're very much in people's faces and very staunch. And we're like, if you don't, you can close the door on us, but we're gonna seep through the windows. We're gonna find different ways in, and there's no way that this is getting avoided. But it's trying to rein it in so we can be a bit more productive. Did I do that? Probably not. We'll see.
What you did was fantastic, hero status, and you didn't take any of his psychobabble either. He always throws out, the other thing he does is throws out that investment contract. Yeah, well, go ahead and prove that. That's a far-fetched idea right there.
Chip, bring the video up again. It'd be cool to kind of go through some of these bits and get Dan's take on some
that's
of the
great
responses, because these responses are so outlandish from Big
Let's
Daddy
throw
G.
it up here. And so, guys, if you haven't made the connection or just popping in here on the chain, this is Dan, Decentralized Dan. He's at here for Elon. And we're going to talk, if you have a chance, you also had the chance to ask Elon Musk a couple questions. We might jump into that as well, but let's jump back in this video because let's break it down.
Hi, Gary. Appreciate the regulation of crypto that you're pursuing. One question for you is, you've said that there can't be 5,000 to 6,000 private forms of money, referring to the approximately 6,500 tokens there are, but that's a patently false statement.
So you called him out right there. That's a patently false statement. Look at the look on his face. What? So you called him out right there. Let's go on.
Yeah. But the majority of those tokens are not trying to be private forms of money. So how do you reconcile that?
That's a great question.
I don't know your first.
That was.
Oh my God, what a great question. I mean, you go on the offensive immediately, and you can see he's on the spot. He doesn't know how to respond to that, but I like how you came out, false statement. I mean, what was kind of going through your mind at that point? What led up to this when you asked the question, if you kind of put that into perspective?
Oh, I mean, I was sitting back there. I'm like, where can I start? I'm sitting back here and I'm drinking from a fire hose of bullshit. And I was like, maybe the IQ in this room, especially when it comes to crypto, maybe this, if he's just gotten away with this and no one's asked this question, this whole room of 500 or 400 high-end media and tech executives, if none of these guys can figure out that what he's saying is bullshit, we have a combined IQ of 2, right? And I was just like, maybe, like, how can I just take it to a level that's so fundamental that no matter what comes out afterwards, the foundation is gone. The ballast of this economy of policy and regulation is bullshit. What will completely unravel that? And then the thing came out of his mouth was, we've got 5,000 to 6,000 private forms of money. It's just impossible. How can you have that many forms of private money? People are going to lose money. It has to be regulated. And I was like, that sounds pretty foundationally stupid to me.
It's very, look at this, Dan. And I like this. John Doe Crypto says, I don't know your first name as a timing tactic to thank for Gary, right? So Gary's like, wait a minute, before I even respond to that. But to that point, it seems so, idiotic, his response, like immediately goes there, the 5,000 to 6,000. Then he brings up the precious metals, right?
Yes.
And trying to draw some comparison. I was like, so we can count all the precious metals on one hand. That's it.
Yeah.
Why is that relevant to 5,000 or 6,000 crypto assets? How do you even draw a comparison between those two?
But Jeff, the funny thing about that is that he thought that he was defending his case, but he was clueless to the extent that he was reinforcing the point I was making. And that the point was, there's only ever really been one dominant form of metal that was perceived as a store of value. And the rest were literally used as commodities that have real functional use. The whole point of why, gold's industrial use is less than 9% these days, right? It hasn't had a functional use for a long time. That's it. And the rest of them don't compete to be that. They trade not because they're forms of private money, but because they have functional use. In the same way that a Filecoin may have functional use. In the same way that a lot of these cryptocurrencies will have functional use of whether that's getting access to certain economic rights or whether it's access to different communities, right? And just that he didn't realize he was reinforcing that point shocked me. Yeah. And at that point, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, then you can't really see my face, but that's when I was like, every breath you speak now is, we should just stop because you're just your credibility's just, you're in some type of, you're in quicksand now, bud. Like, we should just stop this.
Yeah, and you remember when the CFT, one of the CFTC commissioners came out and hammered Gensler, saying, listen, when it comes to regulation, your jurisdiction is not crypto because it's not a security. Yeah. So back off. It was one of these type of things. So guys, if you're just joining us, this is Dan. He goes to @here4Elon on Twitter, and he was the hero.
I apologize, but
he was the hero of the day. Now this is Gary. He asked the question of Gensler, and here's Gensler trying to. It's just the look on his face is phenomenal here. But let's listen up.
You raise a good point. I was using the term cryptocurrencies loosely. They're not all currencies, but I also think that each of these individual projects, if they want to compete as a form of money, that's unlikely. If they're competing as something else, if they're offering something to the public.
Offering something to the public, could it be a use case? Could it be store value? Could it be a multiple of different things? Something else. And it kind of goes right there, Dan. It kind of goes with what, your original point is. Now he's backtracking. It doesn't have anything to do with cryptocurrency. I was using it loosely. He's just basically treading water at this point.
I like how he stumbled over that.
He's a nut. So let's listen in here. Let's listen to the rest of this.
Other than investment contract, I mean, Preet was saying that they're maybe not investment contracts. If they're investment contracts and they're a form of security, which I think there are many of them are, again.
He thinks they are. We've seen him in so many interviews, but does he ever break down why he believes that? He always goes to the investment contract. That, you good luck on that one.
Yeah.
And your thoughts?
Yeah, Dan, some thoughts on that?
I mean, one thing about the investment contract, firstly, like, what is the definition that the SEC is using on investment contract? Do you guys know what the definition is?
Well, I know about they're referring it back to the Howey test, the fact that it relies on the efforts of others, and there's some promise of a what do you call it, a return. That's what it says in the Howey test.
Yeah. And I mean, like, let's say that you're buying, like, you're buying friends with benefits tokens so you can get admission into the Discord channel. Like, how does that qualify as an investment contract? I'm basically buying a ticket to a show. I'm buying a ticket to Soho House or whatever the hell it is. And I just think that it just shows he's got such a shallow understanding of what the ecosystem looks like. And it's like, are you regulating, we use the most basic example, is the SEC regulating gas that you can buy at a gas stop? No. Regulate the guys that are publicly traded that are selling it, sure. But I just thought there's so much of it where I was like, what it really highlighted, guys, is that you've got 19th century institutions filled up with 20th century mentalities trying to regulate 21st century technologies. And the system's just never built for it. And
that's spot on right there. I wanted to recognize Matt Hamilton, who's in here. Matt Hamilton, great job with the developer conference that you ran out there called Apex out in Las Vegas, 2-day event. Guys crushed it. I know, Matt, you couldn't travel. Matt runs RippleX, a development arm of Ripple. So he's appreciate you having you in here today. Dan, I think you said that so eloquently. It's really, I mean, we're talking about 75 years old, the Howey test, and we can go back even further to 33 and 34 securities, laws.
Yeah. And, you're trying to put, I don't know if there's a saying that makes sense in the US, but you're trying to put square pegs into round holes, right? And the real thing here is that this is just a completely different economic phenomenon. So, it's not even apples to apples, it's not apples to oranges, it's not even apples to food, right? So to try to retroactively fit these laws into these pockets is futile. And the real risk here, guys, is, you look at someone like a Gensler or the SEC or just regulators at large. Now, we don't need to look too far to figure out what the incentives are. If I show you the incentives, they always illuminate the outcomes, right? Now, if Janet Yellen is sitting there getting up, something like 7 million speaking fees from the likes of Apollo, Citadel, and a bunch of others, you don't need to go too far to figure out where the incentives come from. And you can also go on opensecrets.org and look at where the funding comes from. It's not rocket science, right? It's not rocket science. And then there's also, you're a creature of comfort. If you get on the board of the companies that are associated with the people that have the vested interest in this, then it's very different, right? But I guarantee you, I bet my bottom dollar on this, the day the government comes out with a bunch of where they can clip the ticket on DeFi flows, the laws will change very rapidly. Regulation landscape will look very different. But until then, the real thing is, until the people that are, unfortunately in these positions of influence and power, not that they're going to win the lion's share of gains here, because they're just going to be too slow and regulation can't really stop this. But the real risk is that if you have a death wish for crypto as a regulator, the real risk here is that you might actually succeed, but you'll only succeed in your geography, in your economy. And I look at it at a macro level and I think, if you're patriotic, if you have an iota, a stotia of patriotism, right? And you look at the global landscape and you see China doing a continued crackdown, just an extension of their historic crackdown. Who would have guessed that that an authoritarian regime doesn't want cryptocurrency. Who would have guessed? I don't know. Who would have guessed? But anyhow, if you want to exercise any form of, patriotism and intelligence, you would try to look at this industry that has enormous, an enormous prospects, is already enormous, and is essentially almost an immune response to not just the socialism that we see offshore, but also sort of a breakdown of crony capitalism, I call it here, right? Where it's
It
like,
is. Same.
say it's it's almost the worst of both worlds, right? Like crony capitalism is actually it's worse than socialism, right? Because it's basically Hunger Games on the way up, where a few people like Gensler and his buddies make a lot of money, and then when shit goes bad, and you've got the guys hitting the money printer, and it's like Hallmark Channel on the way down. We're all in this together. We're all in this together.
I love
right?
that. Damn.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a great analysis.
Games on the way up, Hallmark Channel on the way down. Man, that's brilliant.
Hey, we got a shout out here from Reg Mabry, and he says, Dan, you need to reteach the class Gensler taught at MIT, or the students need to get their money back.
Yeah, man. I mean,
awesome.
those guys, their fiat got devalued very quickly. Gensler walked in the room, they may as well just burned it.
Well, somebody brought up the point the other day where he's worth about $140 million. So what's in it for him? Well, there's we talked about a lot about this, and we had JB on as a guest last night. He's in the community, and one of the things that kind of came to light when we talk about all this is the fact there's only one thing. It's power, man. It's like he's like cop on the beat. He wants to get his name out there, but I think he's going to be famous for all the wrong reasons. I think, when they went after library, decentralized, because all of our stuff goes to library. Now it's called, I forget what the other catchy name is.
They changed the name of it.
They changed the name of it, but all of our stuff goes there as a backup, right? All of our, and of course it goes to YouTube as well. But, we always believe, we talk here, it's like, same thing you said, follow the money, because if you follow the money, you usually sort of find out and kind of figure these things out. It's not like you said, rocket science. You just follow the trail and you go, okay, I see that that's connected here. This is connected here. You look at half of the people in the media in the US, they're all married to somebody who's in a government position. It's kind of what you might expect, right? Crony capitalism and all inside jobs and everything else. So.
But this is, the idea of, this is where there's a philosophical point about crypto that needs to be made, and that is that crypto economics, it is fundamentally designed to be win and let win, and in that way, it's the ultimate immune response to both of these problems where you've got two broken systems that have both been molested in different ways, and a way to get out of it and transcend it, right? But like you said, following the money. Fundamentally, what is money? Money is portable power, right? Whether that's in the idea of whether that power could be economic power, perhaps it's social capital, whatever it might be. And with these guys, they may have a very distorted sense of what power is, but their main, it's always the guys that are holding on to the jobs at big banks. They're massive aircraft carriers, right? And it's very hard and very risky for them to start shifting that aircraft carrier, right? And if they were to do it, then they could take down whichever sailboats are making waves down the beach. But the thing is, if you're looking at $50-60 million payouts, you don't want any change, and you're going to lubricate the hands and handshake whoever you need to just to make sure those things don't happen, right? So there's a reason why whenever you see these big industries sort of get destroyed, it's always like the classic innovator's dilemma where they attack from below. And this is how I just see the world of crypto just absolutely just tearing through these industries on a long enough time horizon. Sort of just, it's barbarians at the gate, except this time it's not barbarians. It's a bunch of kids that know how to develop some code and somehow attract more liquidity in 1 minute than JP Morgan can attract in a whole week.
Well said.
That's great.
Yeah, by the way,
it's true.
Lucas,
Dan, what are your thoughts here? So here we have, if you look at, the things that are going on, and you kind of, reference this, that it doesn't really matter. If you're going to get overzealous with your regulation, you're basically going to chase away the innovation from your own shores. But like China shut it down, like you said earlier. Everybody expected it. We knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Just a matter of time. The thing is, there's a lot of people over there that are very innovative, and they're going to find ways around the system. But that's not
Yeah.
the ideal situation to be in.
Yeah.
In this country,
Yeah.
which always led in innovation,
Yeah.
now we're allowing the same type of authoritarianism to take
Yeah.
over and chase away that same technology off our shores. What do you see the next steps are? Does it, do we see that technology being chased outside of the US? Does it go to Europe and Latin America and Africa, and you start seeing some blossoming of that tech? What are your thoughts?
Yep. All right, before we go and take the step forward, let's take a step back, right? Let's go back and look at the America that built the Hoover Dam, that ended world wars through conclusively through things like physics, that built some of the greatest research institutions mankind has ever known. Let's think about that America, and recognize that the America that whoever was leading that America then they're not the same people leading America today. Very, very different forms of America. So first, that's what we got to acknowledge. Now, when you think about going forward, you're right in the sense that America's superpowers are optimism, innovation, and taking risk, right? America has historically chewed up risk, a lot more risk than any other nation ever has, and swallowed opportunity. And everyone got to eat, right? And now it's kind of like, now you've got this concentration of opportunity that is just kind of, it's really sad, right? And that either ends in things like famine, war, or revolution. And I mean, if you look at the percentage of Americans that don't have access to broadband, are food insecure, or unlikely to ever come out of debt, you got to think, Jesus Christ, we're already kind of halfway there. So as far as chasing it out of the States, it's that America could be this hub, but if you're giving people less and less reasons to do it here, then it's going to naturally flow towards places that have a real need, where governments have actually defaulted and governments have actually seized pension assets. And this seems like a joke to people, but when it happens in your country, then you realize, wow, humanity as there's a rhyme and a pattern to these things, and those are the places where it's already happening, right? So you're already seeing it in Latin America. You're already seeing uptake there. You're already seeing where there's a real need and there's a real product market fit. It's already there. Whereas in America, I think the innovation is going to be happening. We obviously have the best talent in the world. I genuinely believe that. But it's only going to happen when, in the same way that you don't know what's happening underneath the hood of a Tesla, you just know that it's sexy and it could be cost efficient and the like, or with your mobile phone. It's only when that UX is so seamless, like, the DeFi mullet, right? Where it just looks like regular UX up the front and then the back end is all DeFi. We're getting closer there. You like that analogy, huh?
I love that. You're crushing it with the analogies tonight, man. Solid, dude. I mean, I gotta tell you, man, the Hunger Games on the way up, Hallmark on the way down. That right there is legend. But I want to throw in some comments here. So Lucas Y says, "You are a legend, Dan." And I want to go in this other comment if I can find it real quick. Hopefully I can. Oh gosh, where is it? It was a really solid one too. And I guess we'll just move. Here, let's look at this one right here by XRP Panic. He says, "I think we should start a movement. From now on, whoever gets up to ask Gensler a question, he should introduce himself as Dan. What's your name? I'm Dan." That's the movement right there. It's hilarious. Like, what's your name? This is Dan. Wait, everyone is named Dan. Yeah, coming at you, Gensler. Come at me, bro. We're gonna get you. I love that idea, man. I love that idea.
You should remember my name now, Gensler. Right?
Yeah.
We should actually. So I asked Elon a question. I said, "Hey, Techno King, yada yada," and that's his name at Tesla, right? That's his formal name on SEC filings. And I like it as an art form for him to basically devalue the idea of a title and say, "Fuck you to the regulators," by saying it's ridiculous that you even need formal titles, right? He's like, I'm the leader of this thing. It's simple. Yeah. And then he calls himself that, and then somebody was like, "What is Techno King?" And I was like. And then I'm like, that's his title, right? Give him a break. So now if we ever ask Gensler about, and Elon loved it. It was that one of his people said that they'd never seen him that happy in the entire time that they've known Elon. And I was like, well, great. Just give him the right title. But anyway, if we ask Gensler anything, we'll just say, "Hey, I'm here for Elon."
There you go.
I'm here for Elon.
Elon, right. At here for Elon, hashtag Genslered.
Gensler,
Hashtag
I
my
am
name is
Dan.
Dan. My name is Dan Gensler.
My name is Dan.
Because well, this is what he did this in another interview. He was talking to one of the senators from Georgia, and he asked them a question, and he went on to say, "Well, your father would be proud, and my dad did this, and blah blah blah." He always sort of like when he doesn't know where to go with it, he goes, "I didn't get your name, and that was so important. I didn't." But he's just stalling for time, and it's so it's obvious.
So gauche. Or he talks about how he taught at MIT. Yeah, you remember I taught at MIT. I taught a course of crypto.
Yeah, and still has no understanding of cryptocurrency, or he doesn't understand DeFi. He doesn't understand stable coins. They're poker chips on a table. No, they're stable coins, Gensler. I mean, what's he going to go after next? It's like the stable coins. And this is when Toomey hit him up on the whole stable coin conversation. Is like if they're stable, then they're pegged to $1. Okay, Tether. I don't know about Tether. Tether's but USDC. It's pegged to the dollar. So where is your investment contract there? They're not going up. It might go $1 USD 0.001 or 0.09900, right? But it's right around $1 USD. So where has he gone wrong on this whole thing?
I mean, you asked the wrong question. It's like, where did he go right? Like, you can't.
Hasn't.
Like, look, I'm sorry, it's not a question you can even respond to. Because if your foundational understanding is completely wrong, you're kind of building a house on. There's no, you can't address the stablecoin topic until you fundamentally understand what a stablecoin is. These people talk about stablecoins like they are investments, and it's like, well, no, this is just a bridge between two worlds, and this is not an investment. This is just a way for you to gain access to this whole new world of possibilities that exist in whether you call it crypto or Web3 or like. So without the foundation, again, it's like the same way that I asked him this question. It's not a private form of money. So your whole premise is broken. Again, here, stable coin. It's tautological. It is literally in the name, stable coin. Like, no one's betting the house on a stable coin. Anyone that does that should have their head ripped off. But again, like you kind of just gotta this is where it's just, if you taught a course at MIT, the finest research institution for mathematics in the country. Did you give the dean a hand job to do that? Like, how did this get through? Remarkable.
Well, there's all kinds of crazy things. There's a senator from Massachusetts who appropriated a different culture for the last 55 years, and just because he had heard a story when she was a kid, supposedly, and making $400K a year, teaching 6 credit hours. It's a good gig if you can get it, but they'll lie, cheat, steal, do whatever, and it's kind of what their mantra is. Jeff, what was that? You had one up there before. You had a
some John Doe. He said, "We don't need an uncle or a daddy telling stories. Just do your damn job and stay within the lines."
Boom, John Doe. Nice.
I like that one. Then there's a comment here from XRP Speedboat. 2 new clients of mine said, "Hey, your email is XRP in the name. Is that the same as we saw on Fox Business last week?" And I said, "Yeah, let me explain."
It's funny when the masses get involved with it, because Fox Business, I don't know if you've caught any of this. Gasparino's been doing a lot to, talking about this Ripple case, been exposed on Twitter. The whole idea with when you look back at 2004 to 2005, I mean, it wasn't your traditional ICO with ETH release, but it was sort of a pre-sale, and they delivered the coins about a year later. But the SEC is like, that's cool. You've got Coinbase, where the SEC is on top of threatening them. They gave them what's those letters called? What are those, the future action letters? Can't think of it right now. But anyway, they gave that and said, yeah, there's going to be some future action on their lend product where you could basically earn a measly 4%. Meanwhile, you got Avi out there that's on the with Ethereum, and that's cool. It's like you can have a nice yield on that and other things on Ethereum. So what are your thoughts about this whole idea of, what Ethereum's done? And the funny thing about, you look at something like Ripple, OpenCoin gifted the coins to them. They didn't have it. It was a gift, right? Noel's noticed. Thank you, Johnny Crypto. You really have the smartest people in crypto here, man. They're always on there. By the way,
you got a very impressive crowd. I'll give you that. Whoever, like the guys that are in here seem to be switched on in a way that I wish our legislators were, but they are very talented.
yeah, they really are, and that's what we always say, that
Yeah,
we're some of the smart.
in front of the legislatures.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing. You know, people woke up when they were trying to throw that silly bill through the Senate. It got stopped for 3 days because their phones rang off the hook. They got bombarded with emails, bombarded with letters, because the crypto community is like, enough. Listen, you know, we're not going to put up with your BS. We're not going to deal with this. It's not going to happen, because decentralization right there is freedom, and that's what these guys, what these legislators are afraid of. You know, that's what the central banks. This threatens the central bank's existence. Guess what? We don't need a system of debt where you borrow 1 unit of fiat, you got to borrow the second unit to pay back the first one because of the interest, and because it's not a sovereignty where the nation state owns that. So just sorry, I didn't mean to go on a rant there, but it's all connected.
I saw someone just popped up that decentralization is freedom, and I think that one thing that is a really important meme to have in people's minds, and yeah, I've tweeted this, and I'm not exactly all that active on Twitter, although that thing went absolutely viral. But one tweet that I put out there that was that decentralization is evolved democracy. It's the most effective form of insurance for democracy that we've ever known, and it's actually one concept that all of America should be able to get behind. Dividing left, right, up, down, LBGQ to God knows what, the whole QWERTY keyboard, right? Everyone should be able to get around this idea, all right? And it's just one thing that I hope, and you know, I'm a staunch atheist, but I'll pray to God that happens. But you know, but on the flip side, you know, when we talk about that decentralization, democracy, I'll share something with you guys, and you know, I don't know how many people are on the line with us now, but as this video went viral,
280 right now.
Well, I'll share it with 280 of my closest friends. You know, somebody that works at a government agency was snooping around trying to figure out who I was right after the video went viral, and right after this, I'm meeting with some folk that, you know, I'm just going to say, look, if you guys come at me even in a discreet way, this is going to end really, really, really badly for you guys. And I'm sure they can put me through the ringer, but I'll just say, I'll be checked out. I'll go overseas, but before that, I'm going to bring hell to your door. And that's where it's so good that this group of people that we're around, we all share this vision of what it means and what ideals we actually think should exist in society. And one thing that I've been just so thrilled by in this whole reaction is that at that conference, I was alone. People coming up to me talking like, yo, like that was cool.
Nice.
But I was, you know, almost this kind of chopped liver where they're kind of like, that guy's cool and he said stuff that I can't say in public in front of 10 people. And I was like, and some of the people that I was with, they were all about it. But it was like, how dare you speak to that guy like that, right? And I think that we are willing to be civilians that do whatever it takes to maintain our sovereignty, right? And just the idea that there's just these people that are around that are willing to be in those trenches with you wherever the hell they are in the world, it is really something special. So before I duck out of here, I think I have a solution to all our woes, guys. I think I have a solution.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right, I'm gonna become the diversity hire at the SEC, and I'm gonna go in there, and I'm gonna go to MIT. I'll be the diversity hire. I'm just gonna have some crazy hair that I won't give them my name. I'll call myself Danica, and I'm just gonna completely go on the inside, pull out all the bricks, and dismantle that system as it stands. And I will rebuild it in a crypto. There we go. I think I've just cracked.
I'm all for it.
I think I've just.
I'm all for it, Dan. Listen, I have to say thank you. I know we said it'd be 20 minutes, but obviously, you know, you dropped a lot of knowledge today. Want to really commend you for standing up. I mean, you did a better job. What you did in that one video blows away everything from the time Gensler was sworn in as the chairman of the SEC till now. You blew it all away, man. And now we all know your name is Dan, And you are at Here for Elon on Twitter. I dropped the video in there for everybody to go follow you and to absolutely watch the video. Dan, thank you so much for being on here. And hopefully we'll get to hang out, since you're kind of like, you might be in these neck of the woods soon. So maybe we'll get a chance to hang out in person.
Shout out when you come back in this area. And yeah, definitely appreciate it. It was amazing to have you on tonight. Really appreciate your thought process. And we'd love to have you back on as well at some point in the near future. There's so much more to dig into.
Hell yeah, guys. Really appreciate your time. And everyone that's in here, like seeing some of those comments, I feel like we're soldiers in the war. It's just great to even just stumble into you guys like this. So looking forward to doing this again, guys.
Yeah, keep fighting the good fight, man. Freedom. Keep it going, my man.
We didn't have a choice, brother. Ciao, guys.
All right. Cheers, brother. Cheers. Bye-bye.
And we're all Dan.
Yeah, we're all Dan. I love that idea, man. That was great. Get up there. My name is Dan. Really, God, what a great thing. It was so cool of him to come in here, because I saw that video. It moved me so much. I sent it to Jeff. I watched it about 3 more times, and I was like, I cannot stop watching this video. It's just great. It's kind of like what we're seeing now are people standing up, people saying their voice. I mean, it started with, it's like, now it's NBA players. Now it's, it's about everything, and you have like, and then Rihanna comes out, she's wearing a shirt, and the shirt says, think before it's illegal. It's like a powerful message. Like, wait a minute, thinking will become illegal. Yeah, I think we're on that road. But what I love about what Dan said tonight is, not only did he, I mean, here's somebody that comes in here, doesn't know this crowd from Adam, but what a great testament to who comes in and watches. And again, you guys are part of the show, because you're really, your comments, like, again, we don't get them all up there. But that was powerful when he said that, Jeff. That's what my thought was.
Legendary's asking if we can run through that video again.
We sure can, dude, because it's fantastic. We're going to run through it again because it's epic. Video. And some of the people that came in sort of late didn't see it. I got to stop sharing it, because I had some cool decentralization stuff that maybe we'll get into that was on his Twitter feed, because I was trying to find that one tweet. But let's go back. Let's watch it from start to finish. And this is one of the most epic things that we've seen in a long time. Dan is a hero. Let's watch this. Come on, guys. Let's check it out.
Oh, hey, before you get that started, Chip, put a pause on that real quick.
Too late.
So Matt Hamilton,
Matt's in here.
Slow to reach out. You saw that Matt Hamilton was in tonight. He also agreed to come on the chain.
Oh, that's phenomenal, man.
Conversation, and he agreed to come on next week.
Oh, all right, man.
If Matt's still on listening, we're going to reach out and we will get you on. We'll figure out a date and we'll bring you on here to On the Chain, and we can dissect some more of these great things that are going on over at RippleX and the whole crypto space as much as you can get into it. Maybe dissect this conversation a little bit more too.
That's great. Yeah, because I want to thanks John Doe. I think John Doe was the one that pointed it out, saying that, hey, we got, Matt in here, legend. And I just wanted to find the right time to break in. And there was a lot of comments I wanted to throw up, but Dan was on a roll. I said, Dan, look, come on for 15, 20 minutes, kind of drop your thoughts on it, because you can see that he was at a conference. He's out in California. The event itself happened in Beverly Hills, and I know he's in LA. So it was phenomenal that he was willing to do it. And I want to thank you guys, because there were a couple of you that chimed in there and said, hell yeah, go on the chain, do it. And I said, I had sent something like that to him, and I said, let me DM you. I sent him a DM, and he was all game to do it. And he said, yeah, sure, I'd love to. So, big props to Dan, because it was really cool, man.
And I also want to give a quick shout out to RobbXRP, Robert Quinlan, Notorious XRP, and Reg Maybury so far for the super stickers and the shout outs and the support.
Yeah, thank you guys. Sometimes when we're in the middle of something, we don't ever put it up there. But Jeff, thank you for recognizing them, because I know they threw things up, and we really appreciate that. Jeff and I appreciate everything you guys do. We appreciate the comments. We appreciate everything you do and say. And I just love that Dan got that, man. It's like we could put a whole bunch more up there, but man.
All right, let's hit the replay. Everyone's like, hey, let's replay.
The regulation.
Here we go. Let's start at the very beginning.
Get some comments.
Gary, appreciate the regulation of crypto that you're pursuing. One question for you is, you've said that there can't be 5,000 to 6,000 private forms of money, referring to the approximately 6,500 tokens there are, but that's a patently false statement. barely, but the majority of those tokens are not trying to be private forms of money. So how do you reconcile that?
Well, I don't know your first name. I apologize, but I think that you raise a good point. I was using the term cryptocurrencies loosely. They're not all currencies, but I also think that each of these individual projects, if they want to compete as a form of money, that's unlikely. If they're competing as something else, if they're offering something to the public other than investment contract. I mean, Preet was saying that they're maybe not investment contracts. If they're investment contracts and they're a form of security, which I think there are many of them are, again, based on facts and circumstances, that would be different. But it's hard to say that they are, all not investment contracts and all not some form of trying to be some form of private money. And then you say, well, they're a commodity. But I'd ask back, how many forms of precious metal really compete
So irrelevant.
as some form of long-term form of
Dan nails
stored
it.
value?
I guess the answer to that is pretty straightforward, though. You'd have gold and then some other precious metals for different commodities. But I think that we all want you to succeed in pursuing this regulation of crypto, but some of those statements probably rip some credibility off you. So I'd ask you to sort of probably consider them more closely, because it's not like you say that like there's file storage systems such as Filecoin, which are decentralized AWS, let's say, and you're not saying that AWS or Amazon stock or Microsoft stock or Google stock are forms of money. I just think statements like that are probably ruffling feathers.
Well, I appreciate your comments, and I'll take them in the spirit.
Jeff, what I want you to do is like, so hang on a second. So I want to roll back to this. Now, the guy who's sitting on stage moderating this, he's like, he cannot believe it. Look at his face right here. This is like, watch what he have to, look at his face. Watch this.
You've said that there can't be 5,000 to 6,000 private.
Right.
That's apparently barely, but the tokens are not. So
I don't know your first name. I apologize. But,
the guy on the left.
I think that
He's like, what? He's like, what did he just say?
But dude, it's so crazy because you can see John Doe was saying he was buying time. I don't even know your first name. Why is that even relevant?
It's never relevant.
He just said that what you just said was inherently false because you're saying that 5,000 to 6,000 are all trying to be money. And it's crazy because then later in his statement he tries to compare. He said, well, precious metals. It's like, there's only a couple of them that are trying to. I'm like, and Dan's response, well, there are only a couple. You have gold, silver, copper. There might be two other.
Iridium. I mean, that's it.
And that's it. It's like 5. There aren't 6,000 precious metals. Why is one relevant to the other? And the fact that he's overlooking all of the use cases like Filecoin. And I like how he said, oh, no, I was just kind of, I guess I was misstating. I was referring to him as such and such. And no, that's not at all what you've been referring. This has been his mantra from the beginning, from the get-go. Look at this look on his face, man. He's all shifty-eyed. Even I know you kind of paused it when he was looking.
Well, he always looks like that, Jeff, but that's okay. But the video itself, again, what a great sport Dan was in coming on here at such short notice. I saw the video at, I don't know, it might have been 4 or 5 earlier, and then I tweeted it and just said, I don't know, something like epic or, I said brilliant because it's the most brilliant thing that I've seen. Props.
Look at this. Yeah, props for standing up to him like that and calling him out. And then you have this one from Matt LaRoche, attempted power move. I don't know your name. So he's trying to buy time. He's trying to put himself back in an elevated power. He brought him down. I mean, I've never seen any conversation. No reporter would ever, ask a question like that. They're always just trying to fluff everybody up. Man, that was amazing. That was awesome.
Yeah. So I was looking up the body language on that, Jeff, and it said that many psychologists believe when a person looks to the right, up to the right, they usually be telling a lie. Glancing up to the left, on the other hand, is to indicate honesty. So he did a lot of looking up to the left. But you see, the honesty is what he believes, and what he believes is complete bullshit. But You
And he
know,
said that
so
multiple times, Chip. He goes, "Well, I believe that they're securities."
yeah, well, good.
Why does it matter what you believe? I don't care what you believe. That's not even relevant.
And what is
Right?
remember, that was the whole thing about Daddy Gensler. What are you putting your personal beliefs in here for? Why don't you interpret the law? There is no law and clarity. So what's it based on? Go ahead. Go ahead, try to use everything's the investment contract, relies on the efforts of others. Okay, well, go prove it. What does Ripple have to do? Hey, Ripple's crushing it in this space, Jeff. We talk about this stuff all the time. Token should be at like a $35 or $40 by now. No, it's like barely punching $1 at this point. You get stable coins doing better right now. So what does their effort have to do with the price of XRP? Nothing. It's decentralized. It's a completely decentralized token. So
Hey, big shout out here to Hans Loaded from John Doe Crypto. Hans Loaded has been doing a great job spreading good pre-video messages, reaching out and posting cross-platform. Really appreciate everything Hans Loaded has been doing. That's awesome.
yeah, I really, really do appreciate it, man. It's so fantastic. And again, you guys do great things on Twitter too. And like I said, don't think you don't have a voice. There's more of us than them. Okay, they want to come off as being the authority. You look at what's happening down under, and people aren't. They're like a little tired of it. They're not taking it anymore. They're standing up. They're voicing their opinion, and together, collectively, is where all the power is. It's we the people. And what happened, that little demonstration that happened and stopped that bill for 3 days because of a stupid crypto provision they put in there. There's a lot of stuff that I've become privy to what's in this bill, and it is all disastrous. I mean, it's so the next thing gets uncovered. It's just there's nothing in there but payback. When you talk about payback, pay this person back, pay that person back, pay this person back. There's nothing in it for the Americans to begin with. So it's pretty rough. And hey, by the way, have you ever heard of our line of Gensler gherkins? You ever heard of
Gensler, you've been Gensler. Have a
You've
Gensler
been Gensler gherkin. There you go.
You can have a Gensler gherkin.
But I got to tell you, it was funny because Dan also mentioned that kind of some leg breakers showed up, like follow him around. Who are you? Now he's meeting with somebody. Basically, what he did at this giant, the video that went viral, he basically embarrassed.
Yep.
He embarrassed the chair of the SEC, put him in his place, and he said, "Your statement about the cryptocurrencies being currency is patently false." God almighty, what a phenomenal thing to say. I was jumping around today going, this is great. And the fact that Dan came on here tonight, man, it's fantastic. Oh my gosh, look, it's Farshad, our old G Farshad.
What is up, man?
One of our earliest supporters, man, like early days. Farshad, thank you for that, man.
Where you been?
Yeah, where have you been, brother? I mean, it's great to see you, man. I know usually sometimes you'll pop in on Saturday mornings on the way to gym when he's doing it, but I did send my love letter to Mr. Gary. I was super nice. I believe he got the message. Oh, I'm sure you were nice. Farshad, you're one of the nicest people I know. And when you said you were nice and got the message, man, I can put 2 and 2 together, man. I kind of get you, man. I know what you're saying. Get it. Thank you for that, man. Appreciate that. Farshad, right there you go. Big time, dude. Another big time channel. Yeah, Farshad is fantastic. Yeah, he was man, an early supporter. In the early days, you're talking to nobody. And it's like, and today we've got, again, some of the smartest people, and man, you heard it from Dan's mouth. And we had a little pre-talk before it too. He kind of popped in a little bit early, so we got a chance to kind of talk a little bit. But I have to say, one of the important points he brought out is the hypocrisy. And one of the things that someone like Dan did was he exposed someone like that. Most people would be like, do you think that crypto no, he got right up there, hammered him on it, and didn't let him off. That's what I love, man.
Just my dad's giving a quick shout out here. He said, signing off. Another great
I forgot to say happy birthday, Jeff.
He's saying happy birthday.
Jeff, it's your birthday. I can't believe I forgot that, man. I meant to do that tonight too.
It is my birthday.
Jeff, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Jeffrey. Happy birthday to Jeffrey. Happy birthday, my man, to you. Okay, I sang happy birthday to you. That's enough. There you go. There you go.
Another
There's
big one.
holy shit.
Shot.
Oh, whoa, man. That's a major support right there, man.
It's
Thank
big.
you so much, Farshad. Appreciate, man.
Tsunami
Appreciate
incoming.
you.
Tsunami.
Beautiful, man. God almighty, that's fantastic. That is fantastic.
Thank you for all the
Thank you,
birthday
Papa Hoddle,
wishes.
for reminding me. I thank you so much. I had it over here. I'm like, yeah, okay, remember to say birthday. Remember to say happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Let's go through the birthday wishes
And
here,
it's
Jeff.
great. Yeah.
David Maturu says happy birthday. JV, who we had on last nest, who was awesome, says happy birthday, Jeff.
Yep.
Look at this. Muhammad Bashir Sal says my
man,
birthday
your
too.
birthday too. Oh, that's
Happy
awesome.
Muhammad.
Happy birthday to Muhammad too.
Jaja Jeff.
Nice.
Great show as always. Good. Let's see. Great show. Thank you for Shad. Happy birthday, Jeff from EOX right there. Here we got Hans. What do we see? Great show. I keep moving it and it keeps. Where was Hans Loaded? He had one up there. There we go. Boom. Happy birthday, Jeff from Hans Loaded.
Appreciate
So what did
it.
Jeff? What do you turn 40 today? What are you? Somewhere in the neighborhood? 36. Okay, he called it. Is that you 36?
36.
36. I knew it. I knew it, dude.
Once again, Chip.
Happy birthday, Jeff. With no Gary. Gary.
All of our stuff
Gary.
was our brand thing. And
Happy birthday, Jeff. Enjoy the lemons because they're investment contracts.
no, they are investment. Every single one. I've got each one of them is actually sold. So I've got each, and as they grow, people get to enjoy them. So from a distance. But Darcy said, I knew you were out on the Guinness last night, Jeff. I was actually here last night.
Here's Ani. She says, happy birthday to you too, Muhammad. And what do we say? What else we have here? Oh, bunch of birthday wishes. Look at this, 36 too. You guys are both 36. How do you like that?
Yeah.
XRP cake on the way from Extreme Boy. Get that XRP cake going. XRP
Nice.
will surprise a lot of people soon.
We got XRP supercar with
Oh,
big
nice,
support
nice.
and the big happy birthday.
Thank you
Appreciate
for that.
Yeah.
Right there, you see? Matt LaRoche guessed it.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Keep going.
Keep going. Uh-oh, Jeff, you're not 36 today, man.
No.
Yeah. You had me totally faked out. Thank you, Papa Hoddle. That was the greatest thing ever. Thank your dad because I
You can ask my dad, but if my dad says it, then then it's a big shock to everybody.
Is that happening tonight, Jeff?
No, probably
Just
not.
the first, just the second part is maybe
Second
though.
part.
Yeah, the second part's happening. Gary's a clown from Diesel Hound.
Gary is a clown.
Smash the likes for Jeff. Shamiri Michael says, happy new month, fams. It is a happy new month. Yep.
It is.
Gary only gets invited to Pocahontas' kitchen. Hey, honey. That's not honey. Hey, Gary.
That's
nice of you to stop by. Let's drink a beer.
Yeah, wait a minute. Is that no? Oh.
That was the most awkward thing ever, man. XRP from France, from Davey Life. Good to see you, man. Oh my God, it is man. Prashad, you're on fire tonight, my man. Prashad says I did send Gary some suggestions on my behalf. All of the because of the XRP. Wait, Jeff, I screwed that up. Take that one. I screwed it up.
I just sent Gary some suggestions on behalf of all the XRP army because united we stand. Better believe that. Best.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you, Prashad. You're. It's very nice, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate you.
And
Pocahontas.
Got Davey Life all the way from France. Got some XRP from France. Man, this is really great stuff. I think
happy birthday from Puerto Rico, man. Puerto Rico, Arturo Cuevas.
There's one person in here that got pretty close to the age that I turned.
What is it?
Oh,
do you want to give it away?
I'll give away the secret.
If you guys guess the age, we might have to
guess the age without.
Well, I will say this, Jeff. You're much younger than I am. You're a young man compared to Chip over here. So.
Oh, that is true. Yeah, I'm a bit younger than you.
You're a lot of bits.
But now we're in the same decade.
We are in the same decade.
Yeah.
There's a little hint, boys and girls.
Getting closer. XRP Clan Panic is getting closer.
Panic is close. Panic is
39 again. That's right. Desert
yeah, I always like to say 39. if you half it, you celebrate that birthday twice. It's fantastic. You feel better about it. And then when that becomes like, when you start getting up there to the, closer to the hundreds, you'd like celebrate that. You trip, you cut that in threes and you celebrate it 3 times.
There you go. Boss Bay hit a spot on.
Osby nailed that 68. Man, Jeff, you're looking damn good.
I'm
Uh-oh,
doing-
legendary.
Yay.
Is legendary getting close?
Somebody else hit it on the nose there somewhere. I missed it. I saw it go through.
Let's see.
It's okay. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Hoddle and John Doe. Look at that. Man,
Hoddle
no one will ever believe it. No one will ever believe it.
and John Doe 50. Dang, man. Man, we're a couple old dudes, man. That's what we are. How do you process it, man?
Huh?
And I'm older than that. And I'm older than that, Jeff. That's the best part about it. Darcy says 84. That's in beer life, though, right there.
84 is in beer life. It's like dog years.
Yeah, it's like dog years. I wish it. Yeah, we should be like you guys one day. Yeah, well, let's not go crazy time. But yeah, I mean, you know what? You got to live life to the fullest. I mean, you got to have fun. You got to enjoy it.
So, Chip, you realize that 50 is the new 40. That's right.
Look at that one, halfway to Chip's age.
That's right.
Oh my God. I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
See, that 50 is the new 40. That's right.
And no, it's actually the new 30 according to Legendary. Appreciate that.
Oh, 50 is the new 30. That too.
I'll take that too. That's actually more like the new 40-ish. It's like late 30-ish. Like 50 is the new late 30-ish or something like that,
And you guys, you realize that we got the best and the brightest right here on the chain. And what did Hans Lodi said? I pegged you early to mid 40s. You boys age well, both of you. That's
nice.
right.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
And money bags over here, 68. See that?
Jeez, man. Look at this. So Michael Love says, hey, I'm 64. You're young puppies. Yeah, but you're 64 and you're young. 64 years young. I like that.
We have people. Our crowd is like, we look at the stats is like 16 to like 80. We got the whole
Moneybag 60, 68. Yeah. Hey, man.
It's awesome.
I'm closer to Moneybags right there. I wonder if I'm closer to Moneybags than I am to you, Jeff. I mean, good Lord,
I like Mr. Wright said, you don't know what you're talking about until you hit 40 anyways.
Yeah, it kind of goes, it's kind of a weird thing. You sort of kind of, and the other thing that I've noticed is like your alcohol changes too. It's like, you go through like these periods of time, and then the whiskey phase hits and you're like, because like those vodka phases kind of like are for the, a little bit earlier ages and whatever, but Fine Scotch did that right there. Nice speedboat.
Exactly. Fine Scotch is what allows you to age well. You get some Guinness, some Irish whiskey, and a fine Scotch, and you're good to go.
Apex says, I'm old enough to know, but too young to care. Yep. You can say that.
Gave me a birthday card. It says, you're only as young as you look.
That's right. Because other than that, I mean, what are you going to do, man? It's what are you going to do, So anyway, listen, guys, Thursday night, it's kind of like the beginning. It's the beginning of an end of a week, but guess what? 2 more days. Jeff's going to be going live with, look at First Shot, another one. Thank you, another bomb. Appreciate that. My suggestion to Gary is to approve Bitcoin ETF, and lawsuit shouldn't be your first option, should be your last.
It should be your last. Yeah.
Belief. I like that, man.
Unfortunately, Gary's first option is always going to the lawsuit, as he threatened to sue Coinbase.
Yeah, and somebody else, whoever threw that in the chat when I was trying to think of it, I'm like, a library, and someone threw it right in there, Odyssey. That was it. I'm like, this is how smart everybody is. Odyssey. Thank you, man. Thank you for that, First Shot. Thank you, brother. Appreciate. Good seeing you, man. And thank you for all the for the super chats, everybody tonight, man. You guys crushed it.
Everyone on here tonight, you guys are awesome. You all know, if you're brand new here, we do stream 6 days a week, Sunday through Thursday. Tonight's Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Chip.
And that is right. I'm going to do
I was going to say, hey, hit that like and subscribe and all that. But you know what?
They blew it out of here. We came in and it's software. It's all gone. I felt like a deer in the headlights. I'm like, Jeff, where is it?
Everything's gone. They're just gone. I'm surprised that our other stuff is still here. But
the short open is, the short open's there, but they just deleted everything else.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go back through the long outros here. The short.
The good news is, Jeff, I organized them all in the folder, the OTC folder, and so it's a matter of just popping them back in there. So, anyway, guys, listen, enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun, man. Really, what a great night. Dan crushed it. So fortunate to be able to get him on here and then him dropping all his knowledge bombs tonight. And God, we'll have to get him back on in the future, but really enjoyed it tonight, man. What a great evening it was. And thank you. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to everything you guys contribute as well.
Dude, Rob XRP, big support here. And we got Corey Reyes.
Corey, nice.
Great content, guys. Following you guys for a while on 59. Man, congratulations.
Don't look it, man. Don't look it from that picture, man. That gives me yeah. Well, guess what? I will tell you this right now. I'm close. Corey, you and I are very close in age, man. So there you go. It's good, man. You're my brother. Yeah.
Outstanding, man. We got the best and the greatest here from all over the world. Looking forward to seeing everybody back on here Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then we do it all over again, Chip, on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Next week, we're gonna have some great guests on. Hopefully we'll get everything coordinated, situated.
Yeah, we got a couple good guests coming in here next week.
And we've got some other people that are lined up for some nice guest spots as well, Chip.
Yeah, I've been blessed a lot lately, Jeff, and got to just count your blessings. And, and thanks to you guys, it's all happening because of your support, because of what you guys do, because of, retweeting our stuff on Twitter, you getting us out there. We always appreciate it. And you guys have helped us grow. So, again, a lot of love, man. A lot of love to you guys. So, anyway, that's all we got.
That's it.
You got something more, Jeff? I just want to say one more thing before we go. Happy birthday to Jeffrey. Happy birthday, boo.
Right,
Happy birthday, my bro. My brother from another mother. All right, bro. Let's go. Let's get out of here. That's it, guys. Hopefully I hit the right button this time. Let's go.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.